Trigger warning. The following content may include sexual content, excessive or gratuitous violence content, Build-A-Bear Workshop content, death and or dying content, naked Mitch McConnell, and doom scrolling. If you are offended by the aforementioned content, please stop listening and go ahead and give a 5-star review anyway. If you are not offended, you are probably a terrible person and have discovered your people. Welcome, new listener.
You're now tuning in, so get ready for your mindless and sometimes mindful hosts, Josh, Jenn, and their very special guest for the morning. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Mindless Morning Show.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mindless Morning Show. I'm here with Jenn, and also we have the wonderful Kenny Wilkerson. He is a hardcore rocker from Nova Rex. He's also an author, an actor. It's a little bit of everything. Yes.
A dad.
Yes. And I am so thrilled to say that I actually have it as well.
Oh, awesome, man. I appreciate that.
Because my cousin, he's autistic. So, I mean, I definitely love what you do here. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I got this like exclusive signature.
Oh, you got the signature. That's what you're supposed to do for books, right? I don't know. This is my first book trip. I figure that's what they left that white page in the front, right? Now, the real trick is to try to get all 50. Well, you ain't going to get all 50. A couple of them passed away since the book's been released. Frankie Benelli being one of them from Quiet Riot. But it's the whole point is go around and try to get everybody's autograph on it.
For sure.
That'd be cool.
I will certainly try and accomplish that.
Yeah, right. Just go to a couple festivals. You'll be all right.
There you go.
When we have them again, yes.
Yeah.
So Texas, you're in Texas. They're not having festivals in Texas yet?
You know, I think we probably will. Like for 4th of July and stuff, a lot of the places around here have relaxed a bit. I was actually I went to a restaurant the other day, and I know I'm like a big baby about the masks thing, but I really hate wearing a mask, seriously bad. Mm-hmm. And so when I went to the restaurant, people were waiting in the front without masks on, and I was like, oh, hell yes. I took that shit off. And I mean, I have a bunch of kids, so if I'm going to get some shit, you know, they're going to bring it home to me anyway. So
right now, I know Josh is in Florida. So Josh, have you been in any concerts yet?
I have not. I actually haven't left my house in a little over a year because of my daughter. She has CF, so I have to be careful with.
I was wondering if you were just being a hermit there for a second, but.
Yeah, I like being a hermit. I don't mind.
Yeah, no, the thing about me, man, I'm either on, like 100% on, or I'm on. There's I have no in between. That's what sort of sucks. But you know what I was going to say, because I'm in Florida too, and we just had, what was it? I guess it was last month, right? Because this month's getting towards the end. But Bike Week, Daytona Bike Week.
Oh, they actually did it?
Oh, it was full on packed, and I mean, just coming from the stage, I'm looking at approximately 1,000 people, and not one mask.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awful.
That's Florida.
That's Florida. And then you know what was really weird about it? I mean, I'm not going to get on that preaching thing because I have no clue, right?
Yeah.
But I do know that after that week, because it was Bike Week, I think it was like their 80th or something, and then the following week was spring break, and the COVID rates actually went down in Florida right after that.
Yep.
Weird.
Maybe it's like herd immunity or something weird.
Yeah. Maybe it's something we've done for centuries.
Yeah, no, it'll toughen you up down in Florida for sure.
My thing is this, so my husband went to the ER because he had upper respiratory shit, and his job requires a doctor's note, every time they're damn sick. So the doctor was telling him oh yeah, we've seen no flu cases, and was so sure that he had COVID, and it came back negative, and he was just yeah, I think I just have either the flu or a upper respiratory infection.
Well, I mean, that stuff, it happens, I mean, a lot of people get that once a year, right?
Oh, yeah.
The time of the year, but no, I'm waiting for it all to free up down here, man. I'll tell you, we've been really lucky for the fact that, having that year off, I didn't have quite a year off because I'm in Florida, so I was able to go play. I'll tell you what saved me, man, is bike events.
Yeah.
Harley events, bike runs, just bike weeks in general, because them are GD Americans right there.
Yeah, they are.
And,
they're hardcore.
They're hardcore, and that kind of got us through it a little bit. I did see in the last month, festivals are starting to pop up now.
That's exciting, because I feel a world without festivals is not one I want my kid to grow up in. They need good music in their lives.
Yeah, no, it's just sights and sounds and all that, getting out of the house, right? So
Oh yeah,
it's
seriously.
private. So you take your kids to concerts?
I will. I gained 3 kids in like 2 years, and so
No. Historic.
I kind of was like, thank you, COVID, because I don't know how to go out in public with 4 kids now. So I had a 12-year-old, and then I have a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a almost 1-year-old.
Oh, you got some babies still. Okay. Yeah. No, just because a lot of these kids, awesome. my son's 19, and I asked him a couple weeks ago, I'm like, because we just talk rock and roll sometimes, right? You always have that, like, what's your favorite band? If you're going to put the all-star band together, who's going to be the singer, that kind of stuff. And I asked him what his favorite band was. And, well, first, before I get to that, I asked him about concerts. I said, have you ever seen a concert? And he said, yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? What concert did you go to? And he said, it was on YouTube. I'm like, dude, that don't count. That does not count.
Yeah. No, it's not the same.
It's not the same, man. And then the other question I was getting to is I asked him what his favorite band was, and he said Queen. And I was kind of proud of that. I put my chest up,
You've done well.
I'm like, how did you get to Queen? Video games.
Wait, how?
Just on video games and YouTube videos and stuff. He don't know. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of that classic rock stuff's in that's how those kids, younger kids, hear that stuff. You don't hear it on the radio.
Right. No, yeah, my daughter's favorite song forever, probably not now anymore because she's into K-pop or whatever, but but her favorite song was Bohemian Rhapsody, and we just go hard on that song in the car.
Great song. Did you see the Queen movie?
Oh yeah.
So good.
It was good.
Rami Malek is an amazing actor.
Seriously.
It's funny because I'm originally from Indiana, and did he win an Oscar for that? He might have, right?
I believe he did, or at least he was nominated. I know that. I don't know for sure.
No, he did the part great, right?
Yeah.
But I come to find out he went to IU for theater. IU University in Indiana, which is a weird place for theater. That's where he came out of. Kind of weird, right?
Good for him and good for IU.
I guess, right? I mean,
I think the only other movie that stands with the Queen one for me, anyways, was the Johnny Cash movie with Joaquin Phoenix. As far as like them playing it so well,
Well, no, I thought you were going to do that Walking Hard with what's his name. Did you ever see that stupid movie?
No.
Walking Hard. Oh, that's the Dewey Cox story.
Oh, hilarious!
Yeah, that was funny. That's like a
parody, right?
A mockumentary kind of thing.
Yeah. Did you guys see The Dirt?
The Dirt.
No.
Yes, that's what the Motley Crue. Yeah, that I think like within the first 5 minutes, my wife was like, "What are you watching?" I was like, I don't know.
It's the same story everybody had. You know what I mean? Just excess everything. But what was good about that though is it actually brought out some younger fans to see 80s rock bands.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people that were like in their 20s and like, I don't even know who Motley Crue is, believe it or not.
Yeah. So speaking of 80s rock bands.
It's so sad.
Yeah. Oh.
I was listening to your music today.
Well, this is our 36th year.
Yeah.
We've been around 36 years, man.
And
wait.
How do you and JP feel about that?
Oh, wait, you're right.
Well, no, I'll tell you about JP. I don't really. JP's around, but he lives in LA now, so I've got like a whole new setup. We kind of bring him in for like special events sometimes,
okay.
Anniversaries, things like that. But everything's cool. And then the thing that we're doing right now, I started 2 weeks ago, is we had a documentary that I did back in 2011 when it came out, and I did it as a glorified home movie, like behind the scenes. We shot it in 3 days with a handheld camera. Taking the lampshade off a light, to try to light it.
Ain't easy being cheesy.
Yeah, real low budget. So damn, dude, if that thing didn't get picked up by the documentary channel, aired about 50 times in a year, and then as soon as the documentary channel got bought out by Pivot, so they dumped a bunch of docs, but then it went to Netflix for a while.
Yeah.
Really?
It was available at Walmart at one time. Yeah. So with that being said, well, you know what it was too is I did it back in 2011 when I released it. Shot it in 2010. But it was just us and the Anvil movie. Remember that? The Anvil movie. It kind of came out. It was an MTV thing. But anyways, it was like the first couple of docs that came out about that 80s metal scene, and then everybody put one out after that. But we just started 2 weeks ago working on a new one.
Oh, that's exciting.
Well, I've got basically 11, 12 more years after the first doc. So a lot of crazy stuff has happened.
Can you tell us something crazy?
Well, I'll give you one about Texas. We show up now. We took GoPros with us and stuff too, right? But
Yeah.
we show up to do a biker rally. I thought in Texas. I'm trying to think of it. It was like east of Dallas. Okay, kind of out in nowhere land out there, but it was a total nude resort.
Oh, shut up! I didn't know we had one of those.
Total nude resort. So we showed up. This I can't really say the rally because it's pretty rowdy. But we showed up and we got, you know how you go to a festival? It's like a festival at the gate and everything, and you're going down to like whatever into the back of this area, and some naked cowboy guy had a cowboy hat and cowboy boots on, naked. So Jaybird let us in. We're like, what the hell we get us into? It's the first time we ever went to a show, because typically we're still rowdy enough that, you know, we get the boobies flashing or somebody to take off their top, or at least we provoke it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And this one was, we didn't have to do anything. If anything, we had to get their clothes on.
Right? You're like making motions we've never made before.
That's got to be a lot more fun, though, because you get to see like all tits and dongs just like swinging about to the music.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was a total blast. Not only that, if you're on a stage that's probably, I don't know, 4 foot high, 5 foot high. It's a pretty big stage, and you're leaning over high-fiving people, you know? But
weren't slapping their boobs?
No, but I was high-fiving them for other reasons. Like there was just some crazy stuff.
So how come you guys didn't get naked on stage to like kind of join the crowd?
My naked days are over, brother. I don't know if I don't know. I mean, 20 years ago I would have done it for sure, but no, I'm over.
Really? I don't know. I could go like
20 years ago I did it. What's that?
I said I feel like topless would be okay, but like the whole thing is kind of like odd to me.
It's a little odd because usually when you go to something like that, the people that are naked are not the people you want to be naked.
Right. I was going to say, it's not like, unless like if I had like Barbie body, well, fuck yeah, I'd be walking around naked now, you know, but.
I'm not a porn star for a reason, right? But yeah, it's just crazy experiences. Same thing. We were in Sturgis. We were playing a club a few years ago, and sometimes we do this little air guitar contest on stage just to blow time and have fun. But the time it ended up being a seafood buffet, and we had to like shut it down. The cops came in, try to arrest us for starting a bunch of stuff. Because even though, have you guys ever been to Sturgis?
No.
Okay, Sturgis is totally the wild, wild west, right? And it's out there in the boonies, man. You're on your own. Most people are sleeping in people's yards with those little pop-up tents with their feet sticking out. I mean, that's how they live out there. And but most girls are walking around with pasties and high heels on. That's it. But
Good for them.
You have to keep the pasties on. We figured that out because that part's against the law. So this crazy.
Seriously, so you can't show. It's just like Facebook, where you can't show women nipples, but men nipples fly.
All that.
So
Yeah.
dumb.
So am I to assume that the Fran Hosh law group is very familiar with saving Nova Rex?
Saving us?
Yeah.
Are
Is
they
this like a sponsor you?
No, it's those guys. Oh my God, we just picked them up basically March 1st of this year.
Nice.
So we're new with them. Again, we do play. Our schedule kind of goes like this. We play about 50%. We play over 100 shows a year, but typically, right? I mean, this COVID year is weird, but we 50% is probably bike events. Sturgis, Panama City, which I'm going to this weekend for their bike event.
Will you please email me the next time you come to Texas? I will totally go. As long as it's not the nude place.
That was pretty fun, though.
I know, but I don't want to have to get nude.
You don't have to. But
I'm going to wear a shirt that looks like the, naked body.
Right? No, they what was I talking about? Oh, so 50% bike gigs, and then 25% club dates, and then 25% festivals. That's kind of how we roll.
100 is a lot, I feel like.
It is a lot. I mean, we're a full-time band. Nobody has day jobs or nothing. I mean, we're out there just hitting it,
That's amazing.
I mean, being an 80s metal band in Florida, do you guys play for the Warlocks at all?
No, we don't go quite that deep, brother. I play bike festivals, but no, I know who they are.
Yeah.
Who are they?
They're a biker gang.
It's a biker gang, yeah, no.
Are they like tough?
Yeah, they're yeah. So anyway,
say no more.
Yeah.
I mean, we just played the festivals. Usually, you know, the time we get to the festivals, like a Sturgis or a Panama City or a Bike Week, you usually got some headliners. You know, you got like Jackals around a lot, or Great White. Saliva plays a lot of them. We're good friends with Saving Abel. They're at a lot of those events too. So
Nice.
Yeah. But I've been to Sturgis. I mean, I went out there for their 75th anniversary and played, and they had like just in 1 week they had like Alice Cooper, Poison, ZZ Top for free.
Wow.
Nice.
Because most of them places don't charge for that. Not the festivals, not the bike events. Festivals, yes. You know,
So, but then they're still paying the artist, correct?
Oh yeah. But
So how do they do that exactly? Like a donate?
Sponsorships.
Okay.
I would assume, and tons of alcohol sell.
Oh,
yeah, that's very true.
Like 30,000 people selling beer to. I wonder what that brings in a day.
Yeah, and beer's like $10 a pop because
It can be
so stupid, man.
That's one thing I know from working at Universal. Like during Halloween Horror Nights, their most profitable time of the year was solely from alcohol sales during Halloween Horror Nights. It's insanity. So
I did the Halloween Horror Nights one time. It was fun.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So I mean, almost 36 years with the band. So what would be your guys' craziest story that you have to date that you can actually tell on air?
Oh my God. Well, well, you mentioned JP earlier. I'll tell you a funny story about him when we first met, and I'm like 19, 20 years old. He was such an ass. He used to bring scales, and you had to weigh yourself before you could come into his room.
Oh my God.
Why?
Because if you're overweight, he wouldn't let you in.
Yeah.
And then, it was a whole, it was a bunch
What?
of, yeah. It was some,
Did he have like the BMI chart where it's like your height and like, I mean,
No, he just saw a number.
it was just an a-hole move, basically. But I mean, that's the kind of stupid stuff we used to do, you know?
Wow. I would be so offended. I would just be like, I don't want to be.
Didn't even care at the time, man. You're 20 years old, you're 21, 25. I don't even know, different time frames, but it was just nuts.
Was he like in the best shape ever?
No, hell no. He didn't have that. No, it wasn't about him. Hey, but it's just fun. What the savior of it all was that we didn't have cell phones back then.
True.
We had all that documented, man. We would look so horrible.
Oh yeah, dude. That's what I keep saying about when people are so upset about somebody and something they said, like 20 years ago. I'm like,
as if we all don't have skeletons
if
in our
you saw some of the shit I said or like did or any of that shit, I'd be canceled, or whatever. All of us would be. Yeah. Nobody's perfect like that. That's insane.
Totally. But no, it's just all the crazy stuff. I mean, like I said, it's basically the dirt without Ozzy and ants. You know what I mean? Crazy stuff. We used to get rid of, I don't even know where to start. I mean, crazy stories. I had a singer one time in Wisconsin get so damn drunk that we were playing a bar that was hooked up to a bowling alley. And he's in spandex and makeup and all this, right? Aquanet and whole deal, running down the lane, sliding into pins and crap like that.
Yes.
Yeah, cops getting on us. We did a gig in Rhode Island one time where I remember we were loading out of this gig and some chick came in and punched my drummer right in the face. He was holding drums, right? Just smoked him. And because I guess somebody offended her sister or something like that. And it wasn't even us. He had the wrong guy. Wow. But I remember the cops showing up and saying, look, man, you have to, there's only two cops. And they're like, there's a mob out front. Because it's a small town, They're like, we're going to have to distract him and you're going to have to get out the back door. So we didn't go back to we went to our hotel to pick up our stuff, but we didn't stay the night. We got out of there.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, I can go on forever, man.
You're like,
that was just a Monday.
Wow.
So aside from, I guess, the good crazy times, what was like the absolute worst time ever for you guys?
Well, probably for us, I would say the worst time is honestly, probably breaking down somewhere. Those are pretty brutal. As far as shows, we've been fairly lucky over the years. I remember a few things, like we stole a hammer one time from a club and they docked us like $1,000. And I just remember weird things happening, but nothing to go to jail for, really,
So they charge you $1,000 for like a tool, the hammer?
Yeah, what it was is we're going to hang a backdrop. I mean, these stories are old, brother. But we were going to hang a backdrop and we needed a hammer. And he said, I got this hammer, but don't you guys take it with you. And we thought, F this guy, right? We're just cocky. So we used it. We ended up taking the damn hammer with us for next time, right? And then, they have deposits back and forth with the agents and things like that. And they just shorted us a freaking $1,000 for a hammer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rough. They valued that hammer.
Yeah, I know.
I also remember doing shows where a lot of times the dressing area is like upstairs or in the back or whatever. And I remember after the show, to get paid, the owner would try to get you to do drugs. And they would say, hey, who wants to do whatever drugs? And the thing is, if you did the drugs, then they could not pay you. It was like a whole weird thing going on.
They're trying to like break your contract kind of shit.
Yep. So I had games like that played on me. Well, like, don't touch the drugs. You know what I mean? It's a bait and switch,
Wow. The links that people will go through.
Well, save some money, I guess, right? I mean, I don't know. You're in the boonies somewhere. You just drove probably 8-10 hours to get there,
Yeah.
Had a lot of those. I did an Indian reservation one time up in Wisconsin, and that thing got crazy. I ended up leaving there in the van, pulling a trailer, and we had a big freaking knife sticking in the back of our seat, and just got
like they got mad at y'all?
No, just got drunk and crazy.
That changes it.
Yeah, the guy
crazier drunk than I've been, I think.
Well, the guy that took us out there, we were following him, and I'll tell you what it was. It was Saturday night, and it was a dry county, and they could get us beer for like $50 for a case or something crazy. And we were just bored, so we drove way out there, and the guy that was our main contact, he got hammered drunk, was sweating, had mud all over him, and he was doing like flips through the fire. It had a bonfire going, and it just got out of it. It was scary, if anything.
Well, yeah. Wow.
Detroit, one time it was about 3:00 in the morning, and I'm stuck at a stoplight. Now you got to remember, there's 5 big dudes in the van pulling the trailer, and we were stuck at a light, and they boxed us in. Try to rob us.
Oh my God!
We had to bang into stuff to get out at 3:00 in the morning. Yeah.
Just pull out the hammer.
It goes on forever.
Yeah.
Are you married?
It was. It wasn't back then.
Was she just always like, I wonder if he'll come home?
No, because what happened was I was married for a short time, and it was kind of during like the low in 2000, from about 2002 to 2008. It was like a low in it, because the music business was so weird.
Yeah.
And I moved to Florida and a bunch of stuff. So yeah, it wasn't too crazy for that. But I'm actually engaged right now, and she puts up with me.
What about the boobs? Like, I feel like if my husband was like, I'm in a band, and we're like, yeah, flash us, I'd be like, what the fuck, dude?
It's just I take it as a sign of respect at this point. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, you kind of expect it. I mean, we have a show where we get no boobs, and we're like, huh?
I guess we didn't do that good.
We know. That's the perks of being in rock and roll, right? I know I got buddies that are, doctors, and they make tons of money, but they still want to have my life. But I want I want their money. You know what I mean?
They're like, I have to sedate these women to see their boobs,
Right?
Oh my goodness.
A little or what is the gas mask thing?
Oh yeah. The party,
knock them out a little bit.
Yeah, the party gas.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about your book, Rockin Recipes.
Yeah, now we're gonna get serious after all that.
Okay, guys, calm down.
So what it is, I had a radio show a couple years ago. I had one just now too for a while. I've done radio off and on from time to time for a couple years, like a year here, a couple years there, FM stuff. And I was interviewing some rocker buddies, right? And so what happened was I try to go to New Orleans, right? If you guys have ever been there, but I go there maybe like every other year. Mm-hmm. And when I go there, I like going there and eating the food and obviously drinking and all that. But after you eat there for 3 or 4 days that you're there vacationing, when you come back to home, you can't just go to Olive Garden. You know what I mean? You eat this kind of food for like a few days, and then you can't find that food anywhere else, right? Mm-hmm. So I was talking to the guy on the phone, said, yeah, man, I just got back. It was my birthday. I went to New Orleans and talking about all the food I ate, and he's like, man, I'm from New Orleans. My parents are from New Orleans. Their parents are from New Orleans, on and on and on and on, 100 years of it. And they're like, I've got this great jambalaya recipe. Let me send it to you. I'm like, sure, right? So then it kind of became a running gag, and then I started collecting recipes from different rockers. Hey, what do you got? What do you cook? Just to be silly, right?
Great.
And so after I had about 30 or 40 of them, I kept playing this festival in Florida called 80's in the Park with Winger and Kicks and stuff like that, Slaughter. And I was asking them, I met this company there called We Rock for Autism. It's a 501c out of South Florida, and they do music therapy for kids on the spectrum. Well, I'm already big into the music thing anyways. I mean, they take it out of schools, they take it out of a lot of stuff. So autism or not, kids shouldn't have music in school. But anyways, they do music therapy, which is great. Obviously, I have a son that's on the spectrum. So, and I've had him in autistic schools, so I know the different degrees of it. I mean, I only know my story, but I mean, there's some kids that are nonverbal. Some kids, wear the same, pants every day, or eat the same lunch every day, or, there's some of them have OCD with it. It's off and on, right? They're all different. Not one kid's exactly the same, but they're really bright kids.
They're so smart.
Yeah, well, they say guys like Elon Musk or say he might have some form of autism. They definitely say Beethoven and Einstein and these guys all had autism. Yeah. So they just think outside the box, which they're like little mini superheroes. And me just having the one son, I don't know any difference anyways. Right. I'd be doing other stuff with him, like football games and things like that. But instead, he's a gamer and all that, right? Like every kid. Mm-hmm. So anyways, after that, I found the charity, We Rock for Autism. I met him a few times in a row. I asked him, a lot of questions. Why are you doing this? Their backstory. And I knew they were good, cool people. So now I have, 25, 30 recipes. I have the charity. So then like a year ago, I just buckled down and started calling the rock and roll community. I didn't call any labels, any managers, any lawyers, just reached out to them. And they were all cool. I just reached out to guys that I knew and buddies that I knew, and that's how it started.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and I will tell you what it was. I did know early on, like I said, I'd never done a book before. I did call it Volume 1, by the way.
Right.
I already have like 40 recipes written for the next book.
Nice.
But I knew it was going to be 127 pages. It's full gloss. Well, you got a copy, but it's almost a 2-pound book. It's a coffee table book.
I don't have a copy. I'm just saying.
Okay, we'll work that out. But it's never been done before. You know what I mean? And so it's a rock star written cookbook. So, like I said, if you want to see what Joey Allen from Warrant cooks, I mean, for instance, with Joey, he had a recipe in here. It's I think it's what's he call it? Meemaw Sunday sauce.
Yeah.
But he's had this recipe in his family for 100 years. Matter of fact, Joey was pretty cool because he got a bunch of books for Christmas and gave them out. But, I've got, here's Ricky, Poison. He does some black sliders.
I wanted to ask about your page 22. How did you feel about Steve Lukather?
You know what happened on that? I'll tell you what happened on that. So Steve, Steve's a stud, by the way. I mean, he's an A-class guy, A-class player, right? I mean, I put him up there with anybody. And so I wanted to get Steve in the book. I had his email, so I'm not great friends with the guy, but I had his email, and I reached out to him and I said, we have some buddies in common. I said, Steve, man, I really want you to be in this book. Come to find out, Steve's got a young son that has autism. When I say young, maybe like 10 years old or something. I said, Steve, I really want to get in the book. And he said, man, I just don't cook. So I'm like, man, do you not have a recipe that was passed down from your grandmother somewhere or something? And then he came up with that whole Snicker bar thing.
That's exactly what I told Josh. I was like, well, I don't cook, and I would probably say open a Milky Way or some shit.
Right. And the thing is, at first I thought it might have been too jokey. You know what I mean? Because you got to be a little bit serious with the book. But there you go. One of the first questions you asked me about the book, right? So he's smarter than, he knows what he's doing. And he's got that kind of sense of humor anyway. So I was just very excited that he was even in the book.
Yeah, no, it's
awesome. Yeah, I was when I first got it, I was flipping through. I was looking through all of them. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this one. Oh, I'm gonna try that one. And then I got to the Snickers, and I was like, for real? For real.
So I thought that was really funny. Hey, it's Steve Lukather, right? I mean, I'll take whatever he gives me.
True.
There you
But
go.
no, I was just really happy, and everybody that was in the book was really excited to be in it. Believe it or not, a lot of them, as you have the book and you probably went through it, but a lot of them have been chefs, owned restaurants. Some of them still own restaurants. Just things you didn't know about. And I always say, look, man, everybody's got that one go-to recipe to get laid on. You know what I mean? Everybody's got one recipe. So, I don't care if it's breakfast. And that was the other thing too. I didn't do it in categories. I just said, give me what you got.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it like breakfast and dinner and appetizer. None of that. It's just a rock star written book. Go through it. 57 guys. You'll know them all. And it's for a great cause. And the book sells. You can get it. Go to you can go to Rockin without a G. Rockin Recipes for Autism.com. There's some flip pages there. Why I did the book. I dedicated to my son. About the charity. And the book sells for $29.99.
Nice.
I mean,
That's not bad.
It's super cheap. I probably should have got $50 for them after I did it. You know what I mean? Because the books were very expensive to make. But I did do, back to what I was saying, I had 127 pages. We knew that was going to be the number. So I thought I was going to need basically 127 recipes. That's what I was shooting for. And then to come to find out, they just took like 2 pages per recipe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like here, there's a picture of Doug.
That's awesome.
I'm so jelly on Doug because he can still take the shirt off. And he's got, I think, a guacamole recipe in there. Stuff like that. So just full, and they'll have some little cute things. The publisher in town that did it called Story Farm, and they do cookbooks. And I let them. They did these little bios on their own and stuff. But they'll say, like, I have the drummer from Stone Sour, for instance, Roy. And it says something along the lines like this little paragraph right here. You can kind of see it. It'll say something like, when Roy was a kid, he used to play on pots and pans, and now he cooks when he comes off the road, that kind of stuff. Really cute little things that go with each one as well.
I love that.
There is a nice little insight on each one. And I have to say, so I've only made one recipe so far from the book.
What'd you make?
And it was the It Ain't Easy Being Cheesy.
Oh, did you make the meatloaf?
It was good.
It was intense, right?
It was fucking good.
It was really rich. I'll tell you the funny story in that. Of course, I had a recipe right off the bat in my head, right? But I held off to the very end because I'm not going to turn anybody else down if they copy me.
Yeah.
And I was going to do a chili recipe, and Ron Kill did chili.
Nice.
But his is really popular. Ron Kill's chili is one of the most popular things in the book, believe it or not. A lot of people have cooked, because I see people sending me photos in, from
I was mainly for me, I was going through and saying, okay, what do I have like enough of on hand right now that I can make?
Right.
And like your recipe was basically the only one out of them all, because a lot of them called for like a lot of really fancy things. Some I've never even heard of, and I was like, okay.
Well, so I'm saying, I got some real chefs in the book. I thought at first it was just going to be mac and cheese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a Chip from Enough's Enough. He did some kind of like chicken nuggets or something. But the first question, everybody go like, is there wheat in it? Because if you know Chip, no, it's legitimate cookbook, man, for charity. You know what I'm saying?
All right. You can add wheat to anything, okay?
Yeah, no, but I did have one from the guy. I got the bass player from Helix, the band up in Canada, if you know Helix, and those guys. He actually did the whole kind of ramen noodle, tuna fish casserole thing that we actually used to eat when we were 20 years old on the road with no money.
Right.
So I was appreciative that he actually put something like that in there.
Okay, so tonight, literally for dinner, my fiance made it's like we do like ramen noodles, obviously like 4 packs or whatever, and then mix it with like bratwurst or ground beef or whatever, and then put cheese on top and then bake it. And I'm not gonna lie, that is the shit. It's like one of my favorite things he makes, and it's such a trash meal, but ramen.
Well, the problem is I think I lived maybe 3 years one time just on ramen noodles.
Oh,
I remember you could buy 6 of them for $1.
Yeah.
It's still like that.
Yeah,
it's like the only thing that inflation hasn't hit, Like,
I just want to know it's all in that little seasoning packet, right?
oh, it's sodium, man. You'll die if you live on that stuff.
No, those I plan on never being that in that frame again. That broken rock and roll. Yeah.
I'm just lazy and I don't like to cook at all, and so yeah. Josh knows. I tell him, I'm like, I will literally not eat if I don't have something I can just grab, like a granola bar.
Yeah, no, my fiance, she comes from Valdosta, Georgia, and she was raised in a diner. Her parents own a diner. So now that I'm in Florida and with her, I eat fried catfish, collard greens, and cheese grits.
Good old southern home style.
Throw in some sweet tea, and it's like, oh my God. I mean, that's like my wheelhouse now. So yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
What do they make in Texas? Now, listen, I've been to Texas several times. They always like everything big in Texas. Big hair, big cars,
Barbecue.
pecan pie,
Are
sweet
you calling
tea.
my hair big?
No, but you know what I'm saying, though. You know, in Texas, they got big hair still.
We
But
do, yeah.
So in Florida, I would say, what would be Florida? Florida would be like maybe oysters or something. I mean, I don't really know. Like
Gator.
Gator. See, Chicago, you got hot dogs, right? And pizza.
Pizza.
New York, you got pizza for sure, right? Maine, like lobsters and New England clam chowder, that kind of deal, right? And I'm like, well, I wonder what Florida makes. Now, Indiana's weird because I figured it out since I'm in this whole cookbook world now, right?
Right.
Indiana, they do, what is that thing? Breaded tenderloin sandwiches.
Okay.
Ooh.
You guys ever had one?
No.
Yeah. I mean, Sonic has one.
They're like big like that, and they're bun, and it's just breaded tenderloin, like fried usually, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the only thing I could find doing my research. So with that being said, what's Texas main food?
I would say a lot of what I see is like the biggest country fried steak.
Yeah, it's the fried steak.
You know, like, and it covers like a plate like this big, and it just like it's massive.
You guys do good on ribs down there too, or over
Ribs, barbecue.
there. Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of barbecue, but yeah.
Really?
I think with Texas, it's a big thing too is chili over there.
Chili, yeah.
Chili, but it's like hot here.
It's just weird how each state has their own little thing usually.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely, but it's cool because like then when you travel, like you said, like you can't really get it until you go back. It's a tourist thing, you know?
That's what I love about Florida, though. We have all the tourists, like everything's around us. Like there's
quite a few things down here. The only thing I haven't been able to find here, honestly, man, is probably pizza. I don't have a good pizza. I don't have a go-to pizza place. I had pizza tonight, matter of fact, but it was from like Pizza Hut or something. It's not.
No, see, well, I don't know. You're pretty far from the place that I go to, but the best pizza place here in Orlando is Paisano's.
Okay.
Oh, we have that here.
It's a mom and pop place.
It must be lots of moms and pops because.
No, I'm just saying it might be the same name, but not the same brand.
Paisano's.
Yeah, it's not a chain. It's like a mom and pop place, and they're really, really good. It's a very tiny little building on the corner of like a super hood area, but it is amazing.
The super hood areas are where the best food lies.
Oh yeah, the hole in the walls.
We've got like Mexican hole in the walls, like out the ass, man, you know, and their food is so cheap and so delicious. It's like you can't even meet it.
Yeah.
I was in California 8 weeks ago, and they have the very best tacos.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just tacos everywhere. I mean, they're all good. Just eat Taco Tuesday every day.
So aside from your recipe, have you tried any of the other recipes in that book, and which one's your favorite?
I have. I would say probably the chili. The chili's really good. I've had the Ricky Rockets black bean sliders, the vegetarian, but they're really spicy. Those are good. I've had some of the guacamoles. I like chips and guacamole, so that's easy enough. But I've tried. I need to try more because everybody asked me that, and I felt like a slacker. But like I said, some of them you got to go out and really go get all the ingredients.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't.
More than 3 ingredients, I have a hard time.
And you got to go to like Whole Foods for some of them. Publix and Walmart, they ain't having it. they don't have that fancy stuff.
but it's good. But like I said, it's got a little bit of everything in it for you. I'll actually show it again. There you go.
Everybody go buy a book.
Buy a book because April is Autism Awareness Month.
Oh, this is perfect timing.
That's why I'm out humping it and
do it.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful for people like yourself that give me a voice.
For sure, absolutely.
I have a cousin who is autistic. He has Asperger's, and he's functional to a degree. Like he's gotten out of college. He's insanely like genius status. Mm-hmm. Like I used to get like when my dad first married into this family, I was like, it's my step family, and I was like, please don't put me with him on like Passover or whatever, because he would just talk about all this smart shit, and I couldn't like engage in any conversation because I had no input at all. And so I was like, put me with the dumb people, please.
Yeah, right. Put me in the kids.
So
no, it's all good.
What current projects do you have in the works now? I mean, you got volume 2 ready, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. So like I said, this book, I got to get through this book now. This is still brand new to me. I mean, I did get it in the middle of pandemic, but that didn't do me any good.
Right.
And, but I'm hoping to be able to do, my goal is to do one a year. And I'd do another rock and roll one. I would love to try to do a country one because it's out of my wheelhouse. And
you could do a biker one.
You could do a biker one. Well, I guess, yeah. Well, I want to do country and rock. And
musical
I thought about doing all like video vixens, maybe. You know, I mean, it can go on forever.
Cool.
You know, it can go on forever. And the next one will be much easier, more economical too, because I know what I'm doing. But I also have the first book out, so I can go look. I mean, like for instance, even when the book was still in pre-sale mode, I had it. It was featured in Rachel Ray.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, who would ever thought a rocker, you know, would be in Rachel Ray magazine, even though she happens to be married to a rock singer, by the way.
Does she?
Yeah.
Interesting.
She's married to a long-haired rock guy.
I would not see that for her. She seems so like.
Oh, that's the ones you got to worry about.
That's true.
You know what I mean? She's probably got an ass tattoo that big. You don't know.
Probably.
She'll be the next Martha Stewart in jail and shit.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on with that.
Right.
But no,
the crazy ones.
That's going on. Obviously, gearing up to do some more shows. We did some shows 3 weeks ago with Saving Abel. We did a couple nights with them, buddies of ours, and then we got this weekend. Well, yeah, this like now we're going to go do Panama City, so that'll be fun. And just trying to jump on a few festivals and stuff, which has been weird because, you know, they have the dates and they move them and they did them again and they've moved them. Some of these things have been moved 2 years already.
Right.
So yeah, I just don't know. We're not quite there yet. It's getting better. Like you said, you went somewhere the other day, nobody even had a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to take till the summer. You know, again, I don't know. I mean, I just did Daytona Bike Week and it was freaking packed.
Yeah.
It's like a normal bike week, like a normal, you know, whatever. Yeah. So
I definitely think it's going to depend on what state you live in, because one of my clients was telling me that they went to Philadelphia and the place is like shut down, like ghost town. You know, they have like all the tourist attractions, Liberty Bell, all this stuff. Like you can't even get close to it really. And they're still not dining in. It's not even an option.
Right. So, like I said, I was in California, 8 weeks ago or whatever it was. And when I got out there, that was the very first day they opened outside dining. That was the first day. Now, this has been a year since it's been shut down, completely shut down. And what sucked, it was 45 degrees outside.
Oh, wow.
How do you eat outside at 45?
How did they just open up? Because outdoor dining for Texas was COVID style, basically.
Florida literally has like almost not been affected whatsoever. I mean, like not.
Well, we had a few months. I mean, the first 3 months we were like everybody. We were shut down to the max. The first 3 months.
But there was still a lot of places open though. Like you could still go to a lot of these places. I mean, like hell, Disney was down for like not even a month.
Speaking of that, I don't know if Disneyland's even opened yet.
No, they haven't. And actually, Universal, they had just opened up. The Hollywood Universal had just opened up like last week or two for the first time since then. And that to me is just crazy. So
boggling, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't get the inconsistency all around it. It doesn't make too much sense, but I mean,
it's awful. Literally, for those small business owners, it's really awful. Like. We've seen a lot of places that were opening up right before COVID and they never opened. You know, they just basically went under.
That's who I feel sorry for. And a lot of them are not coming back. And,
right.
And not even that really, I mean, now with the restaurants, at least they had delivery, pickup. But my main thing was the entertainment business. I mean, let's think about, well, first of all, movies. I don't know if movie theaters, they were already struggling. I don't think they're going to come back.
I don't either, but everybody keeps telling me differently. And I'm like, I think you're crazy.
I'll tell you one reason I don't think they'll come back is because there's no movies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then Netflix, I think everybody's into that whole Netflix, HBO Max or whatever, all
Disney
that.
Plus, where they release it and you pay extra. Or
that was slowly coming anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But this just put a speed on it real quick and then shut down the movie theaters who are already struggling. Like I said, they don't make very much money on the movies. They make it all in popcorn sales.
Right.
So now I did just watch on HBO Max. I got it for free for a few months and watched Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah.
Epic CGI. It's epic, but I would have loved to seen it in a movie theater.
Oh yeah,
Right.
for sure.
You know, it's not the same. And so what's really funny is if you remember I'm getting political now on a soapbox, but remember when all the liberals, Hollywood liberals were talking about all this, COVID and stuff, they just basically worked themselves out of jobs.
Yeah. They're also very silent now.
Well, yeah, most of them are halfway crazy, because they need a lot of attention. Look at me, look at me, look at me. That's why they're in it to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And look at Kanye West, how he lost his mind. So there's a lot of that. The other thing I'm worried about too is I think that there'll be some bands that will break up and never be back together again. I tell you, just talking off the spitballing, you know how Ozzy had his farewell tour, like it was supposed to start like basically 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ozzy's already like 72 or something.
Right. He can't wait.
He can't wait. So there's going to be some of that happening too. See, people are going to start, the older guys, and then I don't know. It's going to take a bit. The bars, they're pretty behind. And then obviously just with the concert festivals in general, your production people and all that.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Then it even goes down to your waitresses and bartenders. I mean, it's pretty brutal. And I read a story months ago that they said that no matter what level of musician you are, and I don't know if that goes all the way to the Rolling Stones or not, because that's a whole different level. But from that all the way down is 80% of all musicians live paycheck to paycheck.
Wow.
Like regularly or just during COVID?
Just in general. So with COVID happening, that killed a lot of people. A lot of people cut their hair and went and got jobs and stuff.
Right. I think it also though helps some people find like another talent or passion of theirs. Like being locked in your house is.
Many have found a new creative outlet for themselves, but not everyone.
Like a cookbook.
Exactly.
And it's not just that though. It's taking away from their passion and what they like got into. So I mean, I get it. It sucks, but I mean,
totally sucks. I'm curious how this is all going to happen. When it does free up and we get the red light to go. First of all, it could go one or two ways. I think that it's going to get packed. I think that the people that have been sitting around for a year or two want to go see concerts. I think they're going to spend the money, and I think they're going to go.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that didn't get affected by COVID either with their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people with money. The money doesn't disappear; it just goes in different people's hands.
Yeah.
The same amount of money. So I think they're going to go out, and I think there's going to be a lot of tours that are going to go off at the same time. The other thing that's really weird is albums. I think that a lot of bands, there's going to be a lot of music drop real soon. I know some bands that have albums that have been sitting on for a year already because they don't want to drop the album if they can't tour it.
Right.
And I'm talking the big dogs, they just don't want to drop that album. And then the other thing is too, is I see a lot of people just doing singles. That's kind of the new way now.
I was wondering about that because we actually just talked to some another group that was basically like, oh, we don't know about an album, but we have singles, or whatever. Singles are the only way to go because, okay. So I was doing this thing a few months ago, a report on, you seen where vinyl is outselling CDs. And it's not because CDs, or it's not because vinyl is doing better, it's because CDs are doing worse. It's not that the vinyl sales went up, it's the CD sales dropped. And I got a car, it doesn't have a CD player in it. This laptop I'm on right now, it doesn't have a CD player in it. It doesn't even exist. And when we do sell CDs at shows, they're coasters. We just sign them and they still go home and download it on iTunes. Right. I do have a car that has a 6-disc CD player in the trunk. It's a 2000.
Cool. How long have you had it?
It's a 2000.
That used to be the deal where you had it in your trunk too.
Yeah. So it has a cassette player in the front.
Oh man.
Yeah, I even seen a story not even a week ago about cassettes trying to make a comeback. I'm like, no, there's people who are just bored. They're just trying to figure out the music business is completely screwed. You know that.
Yeah.
There's
I
nothing
mean,
left.
sadly.
Somebody asked me the other day who's the last band that went platinum. You know, sold that many albums, and I don't know. I mean, I told a story the other day about Bon Jovi. You know, the last tour he did, he had his CD, which it did go platinum, by the way. But
Okay.
what he did is he took the CD and included it in the ticket price. So anybody that bought a concert ticket, and you know, Bon Jovi's bringing 20,000 people with him.
Right.
Each venue, they all got a CD for free.
Nice.
Not really, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that made it sell 1 million copies. So you have to really think outside the box now. So, but back to what you asked me, because I'm just talking, is that we're working on a new album. Well, not a new album. We're working on a new single right now that will be done with probably in a week. And then we got to go shoot a video because you got to have the video to go with the single or no, you know what I mean? And so we're going to be doing that. What else do I got going on? That's probably the main thing, just trying to get back out on the road. I mean, we've already done a bunch of stuff. We dropped a little mini single. Here's another funny one for you. So I was getting these independent bands that were sending me music, and they have like 45-second intros, just intros of this music, which is a killer anymore. You can't have that long of an intro.
Right.
Nobody's got the attention span. That's before the vocals kick in. I mean, this is not Steely Dan, right?
Right.
So what I did to be funny about it is we cut a 30-second song called Raise Your Glass. You should check it out on YouTube. It's really funny.
Yes.
It's all rock and roll, blowing stuff up. But the thing is, out of that 30-second video, the average viewing time on it is 27 seconds.
They couldn't even make it through the whole.
Wow.
27 seconds is when you pull up your statistics, you know, on YouTube or whatever, that's 27 seconds. I'm like, how the hell did they not make it to 30 seconds? It's only 30 seconds long. So that's how people are now. I mean, I figure before long, they'll just have 1 minute songs.
That's
So yeah, if you can't make it like into a TikTok, nobody gives a shit. Apparently.
Exactly what I'm getting to.
It's so sad.
all about that. It is really sad. It's really sad, and sad that people are not buying albums because, you know, for me, I used to get the album or even the CD. I'm not that old. And I would look at it and I'd go, oh, here's who produced it. Here, oh, look at somebody was featured on it. Oh, look at this track 3 that's like the B-side, you know, and that's
Right.
going to be your favorite song.
Yeah.
Not to mention it also had all the lyrics listed so you could sing along like immediately.
But now it's just everything goes straight. It's all free. I mean, I'm not going to call people out when the last time you bought a CD is, but there's really no need for it. You can get it free anywhere.
Right.
So, you know, all you can do is try to do other things around it, you know.
Do you have merch?
Yeah, I have tons of merch. I mean, we got all our CDs. I got the DVD. I've got T-shirts. We got booty shorts, all the fun stuff.
Oh,
Well, I'm getting me some booty shorts.
Booty
hell
shorts.
yeah.
It says Nova Rex is here on your ass, which is awesome.
Nice.
But I'm just the worst about it. I am totally the worst. Because if I go into a venue, the bartender hits me up for one, the owner hits me up for a shirt, the so-and-so wants something, and the time you sell 3 or 4, 5, 6, whatever items you sell, you gave that many away. So
Right.
I'm like the worst. Somebody else has to handle that. But yes,
You're like Oprah.
you have a shirt. You have a shirt.
Yeah. You'd look good in these booty shorts. Here you go.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Only if you wear them right now, though.
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah, I've had that.
Well, I know, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Earth Day Birthday with WJR got pushed to October. Okay.
Brother, you know I know.
All right.
But
Yeah.
but that's the second time it's gotten pushed.
Yeah. I don't think they'll end up pushing it again though. Like they
say that 50% of the population's vaccinated, right, or roughly, or getting close to it. So I think they're probably going to make it happen. And the problem is, I mean, I'm not just talking about that particular show, but those tickets are already pre-sold, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And you heard what happened to Ticketmasters, right?
No.
Well, Ticketmaster took all that money from all these different concert festivals, mostly, right? They are not giving it back to you.
Yep.
What?
Now, no. So what happens if you buy something and the show gets postponed, not canceled, postponed? They don't have to legally give you back the money. So
But you still have the ticket for the.
They do, but some of these tickets are 2 years now.
And who's to know what you're going to be doing if you're going to be available or anything?
Well, you don't even know who the headliner is going to be.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've seen bands bail out from this year it's this lineup, but you push it again. It's like what's the big thing coming up now? The World Stadium Tour or whatever with Motley and Poison and Def Leppard and all that, right?
Mm.
If I'm not mistaken, now you can't quote me, but I think that now that's been, what, a year and a half later, they're still thinking about postponing it, by the way. But like Def Leppard dropped off some of those dates because they have other commitments already. See what I'm saying? So it's hard to keep everybody in line for that long. Yeah. So say maybe you buy a festival ticket and Metallica is the headliner. But 2 years later, when you finally go to the show, they may not be the headliner. Maybe
right.
I'm saying it's still going to be. I'm sure it's still going to be fine. But anyways, Ticketmaster got in a lot of trouble. You got to look that up. They were getting sued by everybody, and if anybody deserves to get sued, it's probably them, anyways.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's a prick. It's a move. They just own everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them, Live Nation. You know the deal.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you do more books and doing different genres, because I think it'd be really cool. Like if you already got the rock, if you do like country or jazz or any other ones.
It goes on forever, right?
And not just that, but after all is said and done, you can make one last one of the greatest hits of all the collections.
Yeah.
Probably have to do one with just all YouTuber stars, right? You know what's funny? You guys have tons of hits, man. I mean, I show, like I said back to my kid, I'm like, man, look at this video. It's got, 36 million views. And he's like, Dad, this guy got 36 million views last week.
Yeah.
The week before, and the week before, I'm like, wow. Nobody I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know how people do it.
Honestly, you have to know an algorithm, or you have to be paying for ads. There's just like no organic way unless you're famous already to do it,
There's some cheating going on for sure. I mean,
yeah.
And I know how it gets done too, which doesn't really prove anything. Back in the day, like, I know that you can probably buy your stuff on the charts, you know what I mean? Music charts, but who the hell cares?
Right.
Yeah. Radio stations ain't looking at who's charting this week to decide who they're going to play.
Yeah.
They're getting their list already. So none of that stuff really matters anymore. The only thing really left out there for rock and roll is playing live. And they just took that away for over a year, right? So I'm happy I haven't heard more stories about other musicians, because musicians typically are pretty fragile individuals. That's why they're musicians. They're not doctors or lawyers or mechanics, you know what I mean? They're musicians. So they're kind of off a little bit. Artists. That's what they call them. Yeah, I forgot.
They're all a little crazy, and they're also fragile.
They are. To me, they are. And I laugh at it because I know a lot of people and they're messed up. And I'm like, man, maybe I'm messed up a little bit too, because I know a lot of messed up people. You know what I mean?
We're all messed up
a little bit. But it's all rock.
What is normal,
It's all fun, right? I get to meet people like you, and it's I still have a great time playing. After the 20 hours of work, just so I can go do an hour. How that goes. But it's I love it. And then obviously, Josh, you'll have to come see a show in Florida, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, listen, you can come play in my backyard if you want.
I'm working on one right now, and I'll even tell you about it because I've already talked about it. But I just talked to the general manager of the Orlando Predators.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to try to do maybe a tailgating party for the first home game, which I think is in the middle of June. And the reason I say that, because I called them up, I'm just being cocky because it's Amway, right? So I'm like, and I've done it before, by the way. I did it with the Orlando Predators back in 2001. We had a thing where we came out on a stage at halftime and played and performed a song and did the whole, whatever, right? And I was trying to do that again. I was like, hey, let us come do that and blah, blah, blah. Well, they can only have 2,300 people as of now to see the Predator games. Have you ever been to a Predator game?
No, but I used to live right next door to one of their players, and he was a cool dude.
Yeah, no, it's a fun rock and roll. It's like WWE, you know what I mean? It's all loud and crazy and rock and roll. But they said they can only have 2,300 people, which is really nothing for that place. So I called them up and I was like, well, here, maybe we'll do like a tailgate party and we'll do a concert, a pregame concert. Wait, that'd be fun. So I'm working on some little deals in Orlando. The problem with Orlando, honestly, just because you're in Orlando, there's not a lot of places to play.
This is true.
I played the Plaza Live. I played, what was the other one? Like Ace Cafe. We did a show with Warrant there. They're starting to bring in some bigger stuff. But there's not, there's the House of Blues. And then there's the Hard Rock, which is just way too big.
Yeah.
The Hard Rock, I think 7,000 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you get 7,000 seats. It's the biggest Hard Rock in the world. But there's stuff around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm usually in Tampa. When I call Tampa, that's everything south of Tampa. Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Sarasota. There's a bunch of rock clubs down there. And then Daytona is really good because you get your bike week, your Biketoberfest, your spring break. They have so many events, you know what I mean? Even NASCAR is a good week to play.
Nice.
So I go up there for that. I call it Dirtona.
Rightfully so.
But anyways, you guys get a chance, man. Again, April, Autism Awareness Month. We got a few more days left in it. Check it out, Rockin Recipes for Autism. Go to Rockin without a G, rockinrecipesforautism.com. Check it out, 57 famous rockers, all guys you like, and great recipes. And some of them are fancy.
Absolutely. And dude, I definitely appreciate the time you spent with us, and I appreciate you making time to come on the show.
Listen, man, I appreciate you guys for doing what you do and keeping rock and roll alive and getting the word out. And I'll see you at Orlando Predators game playing outside.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and in Texas.
I want to get back to Texas. You know the problem with Texas? We get offered to play Texas all the time, like one-offs. Like we'll get one gig, but God, man, it takes me like 16 hours to drive there.
Okay, so let me know when you get that one gig, and I'll start.
Oh, see, we can't throw that in with it. Yeah.
I'll start looking around.
Because I played a place called the Hangout. You know the Hangout?
Is that downtown Dallas?
It's by the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, which is not
Arlington.
Arlington. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played there. A place called the Hangout.
Well, you're not in Dallas then. I need to find you some places in Dallas.
Yeah, well, I gotta make a run out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my guys are like, well, dude, I know you got that Saturday booked in Texas. Let's just book some shows on the way there. And I'm like, where the hell do you find a Monday or Tuesday show now? Back in the day, you could, because it used to have music, 7 days a week. But a lot of bars are only blowing up on the weekends.
Well, soon.
Yeah.
Soon blowing up on the weekends.
Yes.
So, I mean,
I appreciate you.
I'd just like to ask everyone before they go, is there anything that you'd like to tell our listeners and the world, anything at all?
Yeah, that Josh and Jenn are cool. Check them out. Get the cookbook. Support rock and roll. Don't be a douchebag. Yes. And buy some merch off a band or something. Give these guys.
Buy merch, buy albums.
Yeah.
Buy something. Not just iTunes, man, because nobody gets paid from that.
Yeah. I may or may not be already on your website and looking at merch. So
that's cool.
I'll be purchasing very soon.
I gotta get some more merch up, but I'll tell you what, girl. You buy a book, I'll send you some booty shorts.
Okay.
There you go. Easy enough. I'll send you a care package.
Awesome.
Well, listen, very nice meeting you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, and I'll talk to you soon, and keep it going.
Yeah, awesome. Stay mindless and stuff.
Thanks, man.
Take care, guys. Everybody stay mindless.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Mindless Morning Show. We appreciate you picking us out of the many great podcasts out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell to get notified whenever we release a new episode or bonus content. Now go enjoy the rest of your mindless day.